Hey, this is Kalen Huntrass, and I'm giving up on my backflip trick for this year. On New Year's Day, I gave up beer so that I could get into really good shape to do a trick that I've always wanted to do, but I also always thought was a little too hard for me. And it turns out I was right. I do a lot of parkour, and as I'm running through the streets of Portland, I'm always passing these blue staple-shaped bike racks. And if there's not a bike on it, I often jump on it and land in a crouch. And I've always wanted to backflip off of it, land on the sidewalk, and keep running. I've wanted to do this for years. And this year I'm 37, and so I decided if I'm going to do this trick, I've got to do it soon, because my body's getting older, and I'm not going to be that good of an acrobat pretty shortly. So I decided to train for it. Over the summer, I was doing 60 flips a day on trampolines and just drilling it and getting really good at flips. And then I transitioned into flipping on a mat, and I'd get on a parkour vault and flip and land on a mat and just drill that over and over again. And I was getting ready to take it outside and try it outside when I hurt my knee. And I tried flipping off a vault, and I landed well, but I landed on the crack between two mats, and one of the mats moved to the side, so my lower leg went to the side, and knees don't bend that way. And so it really hurt, but I was able to rehab it well. And it's funny because right before that happened, I was thinking, man, the only part of my training I haven't really done well on is my core. I haven't really done the ab work that I need to do to pull this trick off. And so I had 2 weeks where the only thing I could do was ab work. And so and then my knee got strong again, and I was ready to try the trick, and but I was really scared of it, because my knee wasn't completely healed, and I realized what the stakes were if I didn't make this trick. Sunday, I was out with my kids in the forest, and we were running around, hiding behind trees, and then we went out and threw frisbees and kicked balls, and it felt great because I could move around because my knee was working. And I realized while I was out there playing with my kids that if I mess up my knee, and I have to walk with a cane the rest of my life, I don't get to do this anymore. That this playing with my kid, this was what I was risking with this trick. And so I started really thinking about, is this worth it? I had a lot of introspection about a month ago. I was climbing a bridge, trespassing a little bit, in my orange and black costume, and I was thinking about how much do I want to devote to all this physical activity, and because it takes a lot of effort and time and resources and energy to be this physical. And I realized that the things that I was working on weren't leading me to the two main purposes in my life right now. The two things that I'm really doing, I'm building my fortune and raising my kids. And if I'm devoting energy to something that doesn't assist with one of those goals, then it's not really worth my time. And so I said, okay, I'm either going to do this flip now or I'm not. And I went into the gym and I gave myself 5 flips. And I said, okay, if I can do 5 backflips from this vault onto a mat without hurting myself, then I'm going to go outside and I'm going to try it. And I'm going to drink a beer. And on the 3rd flip, I hit my face on the platform that I was standing on. And so I said, screw it, I'm not going to do it. And I started drinking beer. It feels right for me to do it, but I still feel a little bit like a failure because I didn't meet my my self-imposed goal that I had made before I realized what my 2 main goals in life were. And I've also had a lot of conflict around this because I've been looking at it through the lens of Scott Dinsmore. Scott Dinsmore ran a website called liveyourlegend.net. And he's been an advocate for living your life with passion and doing the things you really want to do. And he died last week, climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. And it hit me really hard. I never met Scott personally, but a lot of my friends were his friends, and the blogging world is kind of small, and so we all, and I'd read his stuff and followed his blog for a long time. So emotionally, it didn't hit me as hard as a lot of my friends who knew him personally, but intellectually, it's got me really thinking about risk and when risks are worth it and when they're not. And when I was a young buck and I could do things with a body that would just heal and bounce back, it was different. But now that I've got kids that are depending on me financially and emotionally, it's different now. And so I'm finding myself pulling back and making those, I guess, wiser choices to not push so far and not try so much, and instead just be there in a quiet and consistent way. It's a different way for me to treat my life, but I am getting older, and my body doesn't heal as well as it used to. And even being a little more subdued like this, I'm still going to be 10 times more epic than most other dads on the playground. So it's a change. I'm going through a big change right now. Next year, I might try again. I might give up beer again on the first, but for right now, I need to put on some weight and get fat. In Portland, it's now past the equinox, and so it's getting colder and chillier and rainier, and my gosh, it's cold. It's I don't have a whole lot of fat on me right now, and because I've been so lean, and it's really frigid when you don't have anything in between your muscles and the air. So I gave up paleo. I'm eating grains again, and I'm just going to bulk up and settle in for the winter, and really focus on my kids and my fortune. And now that I know that those are the two driving factors in my life, I'm going to focus myself around just those two things. So stay tuned. We'll see how it goes.